many. I'll be joined later by my analyst, Hussein Rufai, and Ejiro Mukoro will be looking at the headlines, front page especially. And we have many, many, and a lot of money will be ringing in the air today. And later on at about 9:30, we'll be having Princess Aboraro join me on Business Around Town. We'll be looking at the things happening around town, and we'll be talking today about bullying. She's a psychologist and a broadcaster. We'll be looking at that issue together later on today. So make sure you be a part of it. I'm Cordelia Obe, and I welcome you to Front Page Review. Let's move on straight to The Guardian. And The Guardian has this massive headline here with pictures of some lovely, lovely people. Some of them have huge skeletons in their cupboards. And the heading is simply, fraud allegations and money laundering. EFCC intensifies manhunt for Bello, detains Sirika, freezes 300 accounts. And you're going to have a bigger picture of this later on as we'll be moving on. And a special shout out to Biodun, who is here right now with me in the studio. Say hello. They can see you. Say hello. Oh, for those watching on YouTube, remember you can do that. Is at VOP 903 FM. You can watch us on YouTube. Now, we continue with The Guardian. Blackout cripples business activities in Taraba, Gombe, and Adamawa. CBN to sell $16 million to BDCs at 1,021 naira amid fresh panic in forex market. You know the naira has depreciated. It's about 1,003 as of yesterday. And anxiety as Ijeoma others quit PDP, court sacks Imo party chairman. I saw his party and he said, well, you guys are no longer going the way I thought we would go, so I have to take my leave. Ganduje summons Ayedetiwa 15 Guba aspirants over Ondo APC primary outrage. And those invited are not too keen on attending because they feel that they must do what they must do. NSIB NACA probe Dana Air runway incident in Lagos. Not too far from where we are, this happened, the airport, and it was a skid off the runway. We were waiting to hear what the response is. Dana came out with a press statement, but didn't really tell us what happened. So we hope to find out soon. Less than 20% of Nigerians access 12 hours power daily. And FG probes bullying incident at British International School, Abuja, just as another video, and I'm sure more videos will be coming up from that school, and it's a pity how it is going. Let's move over to The Nation. CBN sells dollar to BDCs at 1,021 naira in fresh injection. Ekiti excited over NERC's nod to generate power. Government takes charge. And we still have the one about the elections in Ondo, where we have Jimo seeking cancellation as Ododo submits Ondo APC report. Igodalo urges issue-based campaign ahead of Edo 2024. Now, the major headline for The Nation has it that the EFCC arrests Sirika, slams Emefiele with fresh charges. Anti-graft agency does speak, or Boss speaks on Yahaya Bello, Better Edu, others. Now, let's take a quick recap of what The Nation did here. It said what Olukoyode said on Sirika. We're investigating the Ministry of Aviation, not only Hadi Sirika. Many of these heads of agencies who have worked in that ministry, particularly in the last few years, are being investigated. On Bello, he said, I called Yahaya Bello as a serving governor to come to my office to clear himself. I shouldn't have done that. He said he would not come. My men should come to his village to interrogate him. Where do lions actually stay? Na village side, not before cities. So what can we say? And the boss had said, you know what, if I don't prosecute this guy, what will be the explanation for all the others we've been on their case, especially people like Willie Obiano and all, that I must follow this case to a logical conclusion? If not, I will just kukuma step down. The charges: Emefiele approving the printing of 684,590 thousand naira at the rate of 18.96 billion naira. Hey, Jesus. That he broke the law with the intent to harm the public during his implementation of the Naira swap policy. In fact, I'll wait for you to react to that. You hear the amount that he used to print, less than 1 billion naira, right? Good. And we also have this one: government tightens import duty exemptions. My view on state police personnel, says IG Egwuatu. Ijeoma quits PDP. IG Egwuatu, who spoke on behalf of the IGP, says my views were personal. You represent somebody. May I not talk? Make we leave her like that. And we have the picture where with the First Lady turned sword of Alternative High School for Girls, and we have Adeleke here. I didn't say the two wives, so two women fighting over one office that may not even exist. Wow, I hope the governor heard us and is doing something about his two ladies. Well, the statement came out that one of the women is the First Lady, the other one is the wife of the governor. That's okay. The Daily Times has its own reports here. Front page: Speaker to sponsor bill for compulsory NAS stakeholders consultation. Very good. That is on the electricity tariff. NIMET DG states challenges facing early warning system. And for this, the Director General and Chief Executive of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, Professor Charles Anosike, has said that inadequate meteorological observation networks is one of the challenges facing climate early warning system in Nigeria. And all this plenty monies they are siphoning and stealing, if we inject it into NIMET, I'm sure that problem will disappear in one evening. Minister summons lead British international school over bullying allegation. Not allegation. Anyway, they say maybe before we go to court, but I'm sure virtually everybody has seen those videos, right? Troops neutralize calls of terrorists in Katsina, Zamfara. Soldier on birthday spree accidentally kills villager in Plateau. Sex scandal: UNN ASU distances itself from lecturer seducing married student. Did you watch that video? The guy was lucky his boxers was clean that day, if or not good. Former Igbo Governor Hedioha resigns from the PDP. That has made practically all the papers this morning. Daily Trust has how EFCC nabbed Sirika over 8 billion naira fraud. Sacked directors for interrogation. Ex-minister's brother's account remains frozen. And you should see what the ex-minister did with the brothers' company, how they gave them contracts worth billions, and right now there is no proof, no job done at all with all those billions sent out. And there is a list here of all the contracts given to the brother. NSIB probes Dana aircraft skid accident incident. It's wrong to increase electricity tariff without consultations. Speaker. Sokoto sacks 15 district heads over insecurity, land racketeering, and others. We also have the report here on the Abuja British school bullying. We have FG appoints 17 new charged affairs consuls, is according to the general. Bandits kill 3, abduct 8 in Kaduna communities, and I will resign if Yahya Bello is not persecuted. That is according to the EFCC boss. We'll be wrapping my beats up shortly to join our analysts, but right now let me quickly look at what the Punch has for us. Front page. In Nigeria, Sirika goes on trial for 8 billion naira fraud. Dangote drops diesel to 940 naira. Station sell 1,400 naira. Can you beat that? What? CBN releases more dollars as naira weakens to 1,300 naira to a dollar. And for the major headline, EFCC may prosecute 300 forex racketeers. Under that, the riders, EFCC gets order to freeze 300 accounts. Says one account transacted $15 billion illegally. $15 billion just come on like that. Illegally? At 1 billion, nothing. 2 billion, nothing. Nobody said anything. goodness. Naira would have crashed massively if 300 accounts were not frozen. Chairman. Bullying. Abuja school shut. Victim may sue. And Yoruba Nation, Afenifere slams Akintoye Igboho. They want to leave Nigeria. No problem. Well, Lautech students seek justice after call allegedly kills copper. And 50,000 schools listed for FG's Safe School scheme. All right, Lobobri, ex-local content bus clash. This is in the area of the 500 million naira fraud that was talked about. All right, we'll be joining our analysts shortly, and they'll be taking us through their own opinion as per what we've looked at in the papers so far. But I think there's one major one that we should look at. We have this one from the Vanguard. It has the one on Dangote too, and it has this one front page. FG appoints, or no, not that, Okwama Ewo. Community declares 17 soldiers killed along Forcados River. Says no Okwama villager attacked soldiers. Explains how overzealous soldiers killed wounded elders, leaders. All right, if we're ready, I'm ready. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you, Ejiro?
I'm very well, Cordelia, and such a good thing to be here. Good morning to everybody listening in the studio.
Good morning. Hold on. Well, we are hoping to have Rufai. Is Rufai there? Rufai will join us shortly, and then you will also hear his bit. All right, Ejiro, carry on.
Okay, so for me, the biggest one was the story about the bullying. It matters to me because I've always been a child advocate and a respect for the dignity of humans, no matter who we are. First of all, let me commend the young lady, Mayam Hassan, for being so stoic in the face of such abuse, even though I would have raised my own child differently in that same situation. So here are two things. When it happened in the Lead British School, right, in Abuja there are things we need to understand why that bullying got to the level it did. One, we used to say that public schools are dangerous places. That's why parents are taking their children to more sublime and caring environments, so to speak. Yet, we also know that normal boarding schools, as a given, bullying is the number one go-to form of violence that is highly perpetuated in. So for this to happen within that school, just something that human behavior we have doesn't have a limitation as to where it will operate. That is the nature of bullying. Whether it's public schools, whether it's private school, bullying is everywhere. It has become such a huge problem. One, driven by what people see on media. Two, by the movies that are imported from overseas. They're actually, in the way of the telling of these stories, they actually make bullying sophisticatedly alluring, such that people actually think it's something they can get away with. And then you also live in a country where, for example, in the US and the UK, and so many places, particularly in the UK, where bullying is such a pervasive behavior, right, that even teachers cannot call out students and say what you've done is wrong. You don't see consequences being meted out for those who are bullies. Bullying is a violent activity, it's a violent action, yeah?
Ejiro, you know, I went through some of the comments and I heard or read that in this particular school, the most they will do as per punishment, they will ask the guilty party to go clear trash, pick up trash for a day or two.
My conversation. Exactly, that's what I'm going to. There is no consequences for bullying, and this is an import of what you see overseas in Britain as well. It's something I know, I'm aware of, that happens a lot in Britain. So they imported that mentality to this place. How can you violently desecrate another human being over something that has nothing to do with the business?
18 slaps.
I didn't get that, sorry.
18 slaps. People took time to count the slaps.
Was so stoic. I was amazed by Mayam. In fact, I'm calling her name so that Nigerians will know her name. Her name is Mayam Hassan. For her to be that stoic, I saw the video, my heart broke. You know why my heart broke? Because I did not allow that in my own time when I was in secondary school. I had a situation where these were boys this time, not even girls, slapping me. These were boys who wanted to take me out because of a class assignment I refused to do for them. And you know what happened? Because I was already training myself naturally. My parents did not train me. I went to learn how to fight wrestling. I was doing boxing. I was doing a bit of karate at the time. I took these boys out. I took these boys out. Like, I took them out. Till tomorrow that they fear me. Anywhere they see me, that they fear me because of what I did. So where am I going to with this conversation? One, let me commend Mayan's father for coming out and saying, no, this will not happen. He went to the school. He gave them 14 hours, or was it 24 hours? Said, look, I want you to take action regarding this incident happening. I want you to take action. This no answer the father. I know what the father went to do. He did what a proper father would do. He did not sit quietly and go and challenge his daughter and say, how can you be there and they are beating you? And then you are a very stupid. No, he did not curse her. He said, how they beat you, my Peking, I am taking action. And he made it a media big deal. And I was very proud of the father and the mother, who is also silently watching. Then two, let us also make this thing very clear. We cannot be in a society where we are enabling this kind of violence. We are having financial violence. We're having social violence. We're having developmental violence. We're having human interaction violence upon us. We have become a country where we are allowing and tolerating violence. That is why we can give terrorists, kidnappers, and treat them with kid gloves rather than give them the maximum kind of punishment they can receive, which is death. We tolerate nonsense. Turn the other cheek principle. Who says we must turn the other cheek when violence is being meted out upon us? And this is another thing. Parents should really be aware of the kinds of school that their children are going to. First, let me also commend the person who recorded that video and somehow sent this video out. Because if that person hadn't sent that video out, there would have been no evidence. People would have just said, she said, or they said. And the fact that a student can have the audacity to slap another child. Who raises a child to slap another child?
Good question.
Who does that?
Okay, you know what?
Let's commend Bayan Hassan for being such a bold lady, for doing that, but the parents in particular for speaking out and not keeping quiet.
All right, thank you. Rufai has joined us now. We're going to let Rufai take some of the ones he would like to take up, and we'll be back to you, Ejiro. Rufai, morning.
Okay.
Hello, Rufai.
Good morning, Rufai.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
So, a couple of stories now. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
So a couple of stories I'd like to take. Number one will be about the Naira that is slumping. As of yesterday, it was between 1,300, 1,200. So the CBN has also now slashed BDC exchange rates. So they are selling to BDC at a particular rate now. That's about 1,021. And they are saying they shouldn't sell more than a 1,100 mark or thereabouts. So this also shows that we are defending heavily the Naira. But I don't have a problem with the defense of Naira. What I have a problem with is the fact that we're not making revenue. Our revenue projections are not as great as I would have expected them to be. And it is because of this you're having a lot of challenges with the currency. So what are we doing as regards shoring up the challenge we're having with revenue? Because if we don't make enough governmental revenue, then government cannot function effectively. And that's why you see that once there's a stronger dollar, there's another pressure on our currency, and it has to go up and down like a yo-yo. So Nigerian currency has become one of the most volatile, appreciating for a couple of weeks now. Now it's been depreciating. Secondly, I would like to talk about the uncertainty in the power sector. Yesterday, there was a story that broke about Enugu State now having its own independent electricity regulatory board, and other states are following suit in consonance with the constitution. So the question I would like to ask is, doesn't that nullify the initial ban-aid that the NERC was saying? So didn't the NERC know the laws that states must have their own independent electricity regulatory bodies and, have their own energy market where they can set their own tariff fees? I mean, it just shows the confusion that goes on in Nigeria, because now NERC has increased the tariff and all of that, understanding fully well that there are pre-existing laws that did not have the right to do that. Now, various states are now setting up their own electricity regulatory body. So they are going to set tariffs based on the prevailing conditions in the states. And you wonder, why did we have to get this way? I'd also like to tie the story of Hadi Sirika and Yaya Bello together. So the EFCC had a big press conference yesterday where they talked about a lot. They said they're investigating Hadi Sirika. And many of the agencies who have worked in the ministry, particularly in the last 4 years, they said they will charge him very soon for 8 billion. And you wonder, how can political officials get into power and the next thing you see is money problems as regards allegations of money theft? So it shows that we have a system that does not, support accountability, that is quite very porous. And when the system is porous, people will definitely be able to take advantage of this system. Also, the case of Yaya Bello, said he called on Yaya Bello as a service governor.
Rufai, hold on. Let me take you back to Sirika. That porosity you talked about. Imagine civil service. His brother, a civil servant, level 16. We were practically on level 16. In fact, I be senior for civil service. And this brother had so many contracts, reading billions. Nobody could investigate. Or is it that the PAMSEC, all those people were complicit, they couldn't do anything? Due process was null and void.
You know what they say in local parlance, that Nigeria is fast becoming a cruise. And the joke is on all of us. It's a country where you demand accountability, they say you own too much, leave them.
You too do.
Leave them, face your own. Don't ask questions. Even myself, they don't give me name. Oh, if I ask so much questions, well, these are the basic questions of accountability we need to ask. Somebody will ask a question like, okay, why was there no tender through those contract processes that he got? What was the due process? Madam Obi, as the question, used to lead due process. If that woman left, what was the due process for the contract? Look at the coastal road now. That the minister said they package for high tech and say, okay, and no other company should bid with high tech because they have seen them worthy and all of that. And they passed that through BP. And I'm wondering, so it's the only high tech that has capacity to be able to build road across the coast in this country? And they said they have done it, they've had a lot of capacity. And this is a project of over 1 trillion. And high tech was just giving that project like that for 47 kilometers of road. So you're wondering, there's no level of accountability now.
Yeah.
And that's why I heard when Ejiro was speaking passionately about the bullying situation. Nothing will be done now. You see, worst case scenario is the fact that we have built a system that is so corrupt that the students will be bullied in school, will be beaten blue-black. Worst case scenario, what will happen is that the parents will come and shout, they will take the child out of the school, they will close the school for a while. And the next thing, what happens, before you know it, the parent will go and beg the other parent at the back. And they will move on. It's called a beya in Yoruba. We know how to beg people. Begging people for things that you know is wrong, but because you want their favor or their mercy. They will close the school for you. Didn't you see the school where a girl was electrocuted at the house spot? Didn't they place, but have they not moved on? So, I mean, the other day here, we talked about Sylvester Oromoni, and I was talking about even the gross negligence of the school complicity. In school where you pay millions of naira, a child had an injury. You couldn't take care of that injury to a logical conclusion. You said you called parents. What kind of insubordination is that?
You know, Rufai, so one thing I found going through some of the reports, the fact that some of those children, like one that they talked about that she has slashed.
I'm sorry, I can't hear. Maybe you said the technical cry. I can't always hear you when you.
Okay, all right, carry on.
So which kind of so if Sylvester Romani's parents were living in South Korea or China and they put their child in a boarding school, you would call them to fly from South Korea to come and pick, because he picked up a knock at the school stadium. And before you know it, we can concoct coroner's report. Anyway, you know, a lot of people have not challenged that coroner's report, saying that it's not comprehensive enough and there's a lot that were left out, questions that were not answered. So it was just one side of the coroner's report, a lot of people reported. So, I mean, it just shows that we have a lack of accountability. But that's why you see that the Yaya Bello case, Yaya Bello can be stuck somewhere, nothing. And you can see now some CSOs, shameless CSOs, are going out to protest in favor of Yaya Bello and shouting rule of law. When Yaya Bello was eviscerating Natasha Akpoti, his thugs were pulling her around, beating that woman. All was our friends, she campaigned for governor. These CSOs did not see that time. When Yaya Bello went to dig road, government road, destroyed the road so that polling materials would not get to the Natasha Akpot's polling units because of senatorial elections. A lot of people didn't see Yaya Bello shenanigans there, no. But you know, the standards are so corrupt that all of a sudden you see everybody, they become your praise singer as long as you can do the needful. So that's the kind of warped society we have built. And that's why yesterday I was talking about those that are now seeking mercy. If Yaya Bello has nothing to hide, he should go to the EFCC now and answer his case. And they are also talking about the case of Emefiele. So these are some of the cases, Emefiele, they were talking about the fact that they approved the printing of 640 something million at the rate of 18.9 billion naira. He broke the law. He intended to harm the public during his implementation of Naira Swap. I mean, these are the advisories, what's it called? Olukoyede gave yesterday when they had preference. But also, Olukoyede should know that he has also violated the law. In the case of Emefiele, you have a case in court. Talking about case when the case is already in court is contempt of the law. So you should also remember that. And especially when the trial has started as regards that case, where pleas have been taken. So you should also know that, because as we talk about other people, we should also talk about the EFCC high-handedness. They too, they have their own challenges, they have their own problems and all of that. So, I mean, also the Ondo primary case is another one making the rounds. I'll just talk about it and wrap up. We had a guest yesterday, Mr. Nikome, that was talking about that the voting was not even carried out in most of this area. The results were just fictitiously written. In fact, Jimoh Ibrahim too is now seeking a cancellation as, Ododo submits report of the Ondo APC primaries. So there's been a lot of back and forth of that. In fact, Olushola Oke, the senior advocate of Nigeria that also participated in that process, has written to the APC and is taking legal steps as regards. So let's see how all of that pans out in the coming days.
All right.
And we are beginning to see casualties as a result of the PDP not reigning his house. Make I head your half. Former deputy speaker and former governor has said he's going to be leaving the PDP. And all of this, people know that it's in connection with what has been happening with the political party, the PDP, as we speak. Thank you so much for having me. I have to run this morning. Bless you.
I know. Okay, bless you too. Ejiro, now me and you now. All right. Ejiro.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So unlike those boys, I know they fear you, like those boys. Okay, so carry on. We have let's give ourselves 5 more minutes to go. Okay, the other stories you want to react to?
The one of the Dangote refinery, where he has cut diesel and jet A1 prices to 940 and 980 respectively. And we now see how, that rate is 940, for example, for fuel, for diesel. And then in the marketplaces, people are selling it for 1.4. I'm like, come on, people. So this goes back to the exploitative nature of Nigerians. We are our own devils. We need to come to a point where we need to look ourselves in the mirror and say we are devils.
Man in the mirror.
Because the moment we need to look ourselves in the mirror and see the devil that we are. Because it is clear that the self-sabotaging tendencies amongst Nigeria has now gone on DEFCON 1. It is very bad. We just like to exploit in a manner that is inhuman. If it were overseas or other countries where there is one, proper framework of regulatory management of prices. 2, just the normal respect for human life, right? And respect for best business practices. You will not see these prices like this. Instead, everybody is thinking, how do we make this price so minimal so that the impact on our people will not be so much? And I'm thinking is, how do we make this amount so much so that we make more money than the average person? So our goal is to make us more penury. Our goal is to make sure we are also so frustrated. Our goal is to make sure that life is not livable for us. Nigerians, I beg, make we talk to ourselves. It don't do. We need to make Nigeria work. Nigeria has to work. And it is us who will make it work. So that's a big story for me. Then quickly, let me go over to this CBN issue regarding the peer-to-peer or P2P financial scheme that we'll talk about. The fact that they were able to discover 15 billion naira in somebody's account that has been shared, that's dollars rather, $15 billion by one account, by one individual, that they easily send money into wherever they can. Especially the fact that we constantly have alternate markets. How can we be having multiple markets with different prices for dollar exchange rates? This has to stop. This BDC enablement is an anomaly. It has to stop. You don't go to another country where they go to a better country where they work, where you say you get a roadside clinic. No. Even though they may have some stores, they're so regulated that you cannot abuse it. It is the CBA who sets the rates, not individuals who just wake up one day and start playing monkey and banana on things. So we need to look at this regulatory system and cut it out. This is why governors, let us go back to this Yahaya Bello matter. There is something it is revealing. Even though I am not impressed with EFCC's style, like it's making it a media trial rather than allowing the due course to follow properly. Here is the problem. We see a situation where governors have now come to see the beauty of BDCs, this bureau de change, and they are exploiting it. How can a civil servant, which goes back to my issue, I've always talked about how evil the civil servants are. And Obasanjo was not wrong when he said
some of them. I was a civil servant, and I was
some. Let's use the word some. Let's not be hasty in our generalization. But here is the conversation. Olusegun Obasanjo spotted them from beginning that the civil service are filled with evil servants. Not all of them, like we've rightly noted. But this is the point. When permanent secretaries, when directors, that is why Sirika's brother, right, or Sirika himself, we have the audacity, and both of them we have the temerity to say, send the money into my account. I am the sole person who will provide you with this aircraft. And they think they can walk away with it because we've had a system where there have been no checks and balances, and most importantly, consequences for bad behavior. We are rewarding terrorists and kidnappers with simple kid glove sentences, or like they now insulted the meaning of the word amnesty. They are now using amnesty in a loose, disgraceful way that it should never have been in the first place. How do you give amnesty to a terrorist who deliberately went out to murder people? We should begin to hold our government very, very accountable. So this goes back to all of us who have brothers and sisters in civil service. Make we they talk to our civil service brothers. Don't say because it is benefiting you now, so you keep quiet. Because at the end of the day, it now haunts all of us, whether we like it or not.
Okay, Ejiro, before you go, I have two things I'd like us to quickly look at. This Okoma, you know, the community has declared that those soldiers were killed along Forcados River, not in their community. And I'm sure when they found the bodies, they didn't find them in Okwama. So I'm wondering, if it was along Forcados River, as they've said, they swore to an affidavit. If they did that and they said it honestly, why did they go directly into a community and they claimed that they had been firing and so on by the soldiers before they even left? And they didn't do anything to them. We have 30 seconds to deal with that. Then the last one, I can hear you.
Okay, so about this matter, when the news first broke, and it was a news from the military perspective, I was very worried. Because, one, the way it was said, I was concerned that a whole 17 militarily trained officers, right, were just manhandled in a way that we've never seen before. And you are saying these people's weapons were taken away from them. Even if you came for a peace mission, and you're a military trained person, there is no way that these guys will just be taken unawares completely like that. Because they're always very alert. They are trained in non-kinetic method of, going into places and being prepared. And let us understand that the distance from Okwama to Forcados is about 54.7 kilometers, right? They are in that space. So a whole 54.7 kilometers, do you know how many minutes that is for it to be able to move from there to even the space where they are? And I think this is time we begin to use Google images, because by the time we go further and do a forensics and trace this thing, I can guarantee you that by the time we use Google images, right, to begin to track that Forcados River, we will begin to see evidence of how bodies may have moved, because I'm not taking sides yet. It's the community that have come out to speak, and I'm happy that they are speaking and are not keeping silence, because I was so upset that they are going to just give a place a bad name. Because we're so quick in Nigeria to just, and the news media always runs with certain headlines that sometimes I feel all the media organizations, especially the print medias, they should be more responsible in their reporting and be more development focused in their headlines.
Okay, Drew.
Now you look at that situation. Yes.
And we have to wrap.
So we must get to a point where this thing must be reinvestigated. There has to be a reinvestigation. There has to be. That's what I would say on this matter.
Okay, let's end this on a lighter note, a very brilliant note. Where we're celebrating right now Femi Osita Day, who secured full scholarship into several universities. He's 17 years old. He got 14 scholarships, full rides, and 3 countries. He got into Harvard, he got into Brown University, several universities, and all the scholarship total about $3.5 million. And what did he really do? You know, he sat for the exams, and there's a particular one where he had 800 over 800, his own WAEC or school living exams. He aced virtually everything. So, 17-year-old doing marvelously well, unlike those where they beat their mate for school. So,
when I saw that news, to be very honest, I was blown away. I was like a proud mama. I think that was my son.
Universities from the US to Qatar to, oh wow, nice one, boy.
So you know what this boy is telling us, and this is what I've always believed. I've always believed in this country called Nigeria.
Of course.
I've always believed in us as a people because I see how resilient and very creative and hardworking and committed we are, and gifted. And the word is gifted. We're gifted in this country. He's one of the litany of several other young Nigerians who have been outstanding when it comes to results like this. But he has been more outstanding compared to others that I know of. But that tells you that we also have a track record of such brilliant stories emanating. And here is the thing. This young man will go to these other countries, right? And you will see that the Nigerian government, unlike the Chinese and the British and the American, will not see this boy as a protege that they want to personally own and say, young man, we will take all responsibility regarding you and you will come back to this country and add value. Unlike what we see today, the brain drain has begun. People are targeting this young man. And yet our Nigerian government, our Nigerian leaders do not understand why they should target our people and enable them. You see people go for scholarships and they'll be abandoned midway in terms of their financial remuneration due to them by their various state governors, local governments, and even federal government in overseas country. Somebody who earned the sponsorship for a PhD or a master's degree or even a BSc degree. We should begin to treat our people well, and then you will see them excel more. Right. So this is more like a call out to parents. 1, don't give up on your children. Give them the best training, encourage them. And then 2, the state government generally, from local to state and the federal, must begin to treat every Nigerian with more dignity and provide the enabling environment for us to do well educationally and in every other career that we want to do, so that this Nigeria could work. Nigeria has to work for us.
All right. Thank you very much, Ejiro, for being with us this morning. And congrats, one of your books being used by the Delta State government in schools. Congrats on that. Have a beautiful day, Ejiro.
I was very happy to hear that they concluded that my book Distortion is worthy of literature. So yes, thank you for that recognition to Cordelia and to Voice of the People. Thank you for all your support as well. Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll be joining you now for your own segment of the analysis. And at 9:30, we'll be taking a deeper look at the bullying issue, where we'll be joined by Princess Aboraro, a psychologist and a broadcaster, will be looking at that issue. The number you'll be calling is 0700 903 903 903, and on WhatsApp is 0817 175 6338. Once your calls start coming in, I'll take them. But before then, let's take messages. They've been coming in since we started. Good morning to you too. To me, EFCC is acting drama as far as Yaya Bello. Okay, let's take this one. It's disrupting my activities here. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Yeah, this is Mr. Legend calling from afar.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, one thing I want to say is that concerning what Yahaya Bello did, if they have not put a stop to this nonsense that are happening in this country, nothing will change. Nothing is going to change. If there is no punishment for all these kind of crimes, it means that Nigeria cannot work. Because you cannot tell me that somebody will siphon almost money for a budget of a state and eat it alone. After everything, they will just bargain and the person will go. If the aviation minister is not jailed, Yahaya Bello is not jailed, and about all the whole what do they call that woman? Something Edo or be waiting is not jailed in this country. You should stop giving us all this news because the news is meaningless to us. It doesn't take anything out. It doesn't mean anything to.
Okay, that's a word off now. Hello, good morning. Hello. We can't hear you.
Good morning.
Morning, Miss Ola. How are you this morning?
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How is ATL this morning?
RTL is wonderful. Nice to talk to you this morning.
Same here.
All right. Like I always say, I think solutions again is at the fingertips of leadership. All it takes is the will and the zeal to do it. The EFCC personnel, I understand, is a pastor, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, you will be able to handle the situation at hand right now. Corruption is everywhere. Basically, starting even if you have to go to the civil servants. I mean, Nigeria has to be cleaned up, for things to work. I mean, we cannot continue this way, ma'am. We cannot.
No, we can't. We can't.
So this is what I have this morning.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Nigeria can do it, but the cleaning has to persist.
Yeah.
Period.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, okay. Somebody there already. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, Cordelia. Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm fine. My name is Peter Omonse from Shomolu.
Right.
I want to salute that our lady analyst for her. You know the way she talks. She learned karate. She learned boxing. I said no wonder she speaks this way. I'm always proud of her. Let me just leave that at that for now.
Na Delta. Worry not they carry last. Oh God.
I love you, baby. Now, on what we are looking at now, Yaya Bello, how much? Sirika, the former aviation minister, how much?
Emefiele
using 8-point-something billion to print 600 million. With his team, and Buhari was the president then. Maybe Buhari didn't know about it. Actually, the point is that Tinubu did not have any reason to say fuel subsidy gone because we needed money. Nigeria had money in the hands of all these people who looted. Collect the money from their hand, use it to give us brand new refineries that they promised us. Collect this money from these people and then improve electricity for Nigerians. Collect all this money and use. And then Nigeria will move forward. Not all this. And in fact, should leave this one in the board. This coastal line they are talking about, using about 16 trillion. They should investigate that one now immediately.
All right, time's up. Thank you, and you made the point. Okay, I'll take some messages now. And EFCC so far, they've said they've recovered about 100+ billion naira. Okay, let's wait to see what they will be doing with the money they will have to share with us. Okay, something is making it a little difficult for me to see my messages on WhatsApp right now. Biodo is helping me here. Okay. All right, we'll be taking your messages from WhatsApp shortly once that is sorted. But let's remind you that business around town, we're going to discuss extensively about bullying and so on. Good morning. To me, FCC is acting drama as far as Yaya Bello matter of arrest is concerned. Where's Yaya Bello hiding in Nigeria that EFCC cannot fetch him out over a week now with all the powers invested on them? If really they want to, shame to Yaya Bello, a former governor, for not able to pay school fees for his children that he has to steal from state government before paying school fees. This is what we're saying. No need to remove fuel subsidy. Instead, all the looted monies need to be recovered by the president, not fuel subsidy gone. Benjamin from Shogunle. Please, you give us some time to take some messages. Morning to you too. You say the Yahya Bello EFCC drama is laughable. Truth be told, former EFCC boss Nuhu Ribadu was once said 90% of our so-called rulers, both past and present, are in the EFCC corruption list. Yahya Bello is being chased now because he's not in good books of the president. Maybe. In fact, most of them are even worse than Yahya Bello. Everything in Nigeria has been hijacked by the wicked politicians. Well, I don't blame them because even we, the citizens, are not helping matters at all. Don't you see how the poor ones are protesting for him? What a shame. Martin Zuru, aka Mayor from Ikotu Egbe. One more, and we'll go back to the phones. The so-called Sirika has really stolen this country dry. To be honest with you, Cordelia, this man is supposed to be, you feel he should be hanged, okay? But it's unfortunate that at the end of this Jamboree trial, he'll be set free and all his sins will be forgiven. There are thousands of them in government, and if they are not uprooted out completely, the nation will never make progress. Let's continue and watch the drama as it unfolds. This is very shameful, sad, and bad. His Royal Highness BC Walker, that was your message. Good morning.
Good morning, Cordelia.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm fine. Your name? Go ahead.
Yes. I want to talk about the issue of Kwama something.
Okay, your name and where you're calling from.
Mostly from the last time.
All right, go ahead.
Yes. This issue needs to be investigated, proper investigation. Because from eyewitness, a pastor that was serving at Kwama, in the incident, I called him and he was telling me what really happened. In fact, it is like I'm sorry for the death of the child, but it's caught up with them. You don't allow yourself to be used by Tokolo. Tokolo used them, and it is very sad, very, very sad. So this issue needs to be investigated, proper investigation. Now, Okoma are predominantly potato farmers. I know that Okoma people will take over their farm now, right now. I believe so. Because they don't plant any other except potato. Their potato even go for export. Now, what they even deny the government to visit the place. They deny the media. The right I want to talk about is Yahya Bello. The media call Yahya Bello white lion. I've never seen white lion. No. The media awarded all kind of this to Yahya Bello, both print and elected media. You understand now? So what I want to say is that the Nigerian media should do the needful. Now, Sikofa want to come out to protest that EFCC should be on the side of the protest. Who is the protest? Why will so have Sikofa in the country? Civil society group.
Okay. Oh, the line went off. You know, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to read some of your messages now. The ones I can't take just now will be taken as 9:30 or thereabouts, and we'll have our session. From Adeyemi Kamoru from Festac, Yoruba Nation agitation who tried to cause havoc and chaos in Ibadan. No prominent Yoruba came out to make excuses for those agitators or sympathize with them. They didn't even call them unknown gunmen. Nobody's unknown gunmen. Terrorists can only operate where there is local support. If there is no local support, they will evaporate. All right, I got you there. Good morning to you too. It's a beautiful Wednesday. In a civilized world, Sirika will be in prison by now. In fact, he will die by hanging because he committed worse crime. He defrauded the whole country, the whole Nigerians. Emefiele and Buhari should be in prison by now. Former South African president is in prison right now. When are we going to get it right in this country? Our former president who backwarded the country wasted good 8 years is working freely because he put someone who will cover his sins. But believe you me, soon his sins will fish him out. Prince Iotek from Arena Market. Let's take this one. Good morning. Hello.
Your Excellency, Madam Speaker.
Oh, Remy without the Martins. Good morning.
That's your boy. Good morning.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. First of all, one of your analysts, I did say bullying is something important. I don't believe so. Black people, Nigerians, we are good at bullying each other. And also, there are laws in Britain that prevent this sort of thing, so it does not just happen like that. Of course, there are the situations like that happen, but there are laws that consequences for those who bully. Secondly, I've always called for independent investigation regarding Okwama because of the track record of the military. Who knows if those 17 soldiers that were killed were the first to kill? Who knows if it was a retaliatory killing? It shouldn't have happened, but independent investigation will expose whatever happened there. Lastly, people are coming to tell us, oh, Sirika, this and that, oh, corruption. Why are you not aware that in Beta Ibu case, that Sunji Ojo's company got contracts and that has been swept under the carpet? Look, you cannot come to equity with filthy hands. You got to come with clean hands. These people are not serious. EFCC is just playing media game. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Remy. I was trying to get some from YouTube, but let's take you now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Cordelia.
Yeah, welcome. Your name, where are you calling from?
My name is Fred. I'm calling from Sirika.
All right, go ahead.
My contribution is just to advise Nigeria not to complain. We complain too much, we speak English too much, but we are not taking action. It doesn't make sense. Complain all the time. Government does not do this, government does not do that. A serious nation does not complain the way we complain. Is it not we that welcome democracy? Since we get democracy, our life never remained the same. When we are military regime, do we see all those shenanigans? I know they are so corrupt, but it's not as bad as this. Let us say the truth. Nigeria doesn't want to hear the truth. That's why we are like this. Let us go back to military regime.
Hello? It be like say even the phone follow you quarrel for that thing when you talk. Okay. They say the worst democracy is still better than any military regime, and I doubt very much if we want to be placing that as a call right now. Oladewale, we spoke already online. Thank you for your messages. Emmanuel OC, EFCC is really confused on this Emefiele issue. Keep amending charges. Alexo, good morning to you too, sir. Thanks for a brilliant show. Keep up the great job you guys are doing. God bless you and God bless VOP. Thank you so much. Dixon Chris, good morning, VOP FM. More grace to you guys. Rufa Hosseini, I must greet you, sir. And he has heard you. EFCC should start from Buhari. This is okay. Emmanuel, you say for the Emefiele issue, Buhari is the first suspect. The Frankie Dixon, Yahaya Bello, the acclaimed Kogi White Lion, has become white chicken without feathers. All funds allegedly stolen must be recovered. EFCC must take every necessary step to severely deal with him. And I think a lot of people agree with your take there. And we have Oga 404. Good morning to you too. You say we're deceiving ourselves. AG will come and make Nigeria to work. She says it's working and it's working. Forever and ever, Nigeria can never work. Never reject that. Okay. You're not happy with us this morning. No, you just curse us. Okay, I'll go for no vex. Don't worry, we'll try and make Nigeria work better. Okay, we'll take just one more message or call, then we will join. Okay, we'll be wrapping this up now because it's almost time to go. Good morning to you. How are you? All right, that call dropped. If you can call back, and my WhatsApp has disappeared. Chai. Okay. Good morning to you. How are you? Hello? Hello? Good morning.
Good morning, my sister.
Morning, my brother.
All
right, thank you. Where are you calling from?
Emmanuel calling from Lassa.
All right, go ahead. As the last call, you got 30 seconds, 1 minute. Go ahead.
I want to add this question. During Buhari regime, all the money that they discover from all this where take our money, what are they use the money for? That is number one. Number two, for the Yahaya Bello issue, it's a scam. They just want to use that one so that the people will say, when Yahaya Bello do, when the person do, what are they done to you? So it's a scam. They know what the everything, they know what they are doing. That is my own contribution.
All right, thank you very much. And talking about monies recovered so far, Olukoyede hinted that EFCC has recovered about 120 billion naira in the last 6 months. Huh. Okay, the question now is what we're going to do with that money. Where is the money? Show me the money. All right, wrapping this up with this last message. The EFCC arrest of Haiti Sirika is a great development. The former aviation minister's show of shame with the Nigerian aircraft was daylight yahoo yahoo. All monies allegedly stolen by these public officials must be recovered and used for infrastructural development. They must be punished to the full extent of the law. May God help and heal our land. Frank O'Nero from the U.S. Okay, I promise you all the ones I've not been able to read now, I'm going to read at about 9:30 upwards. And Princess Amoraro is going to be with us. I'm going to be looking at this issue of bullying. And I think parents are actually breeding bullies in their homes. They are too. We'll find out. Adigbo, you are still looking fine from yesterday.
Good morning, Cordelia.
Otutu Amai Hedioha to you.
Hedioha, my brother. You know, son of my brother.
From your mama's side.
Yes, now you don't leave PDP. We are happy. We are telling him now as it is. My brother, as you are no more in PDP, you've resigned from PDP. We have this vehicle that every Nigerian want to enter. No, just join that same vehicle. Yeah, you know the vehicle now. Just my people call it Ubona Gaga.
Okay.
Vehicle where they move.
It begins with A also. No, it begins with L.
Not be from my mind to go. You say the clothes where my man goes wear.
No, they're not iron now.
Make
I they go because we have some ads they have to. Hey, yellow, you don't off. Okay, we have to take some stuff right now, but you know, technical things can be funny sometimes. We try and sort this out.
It's human made.
It's human made. Okay, so are we able to take charge of that? Okay, so this is what we're going to do now. You guys are joining the train shortly in 2 or so minutes. They'll be taking over and be looking at some things. And you heard that EFCC said they've recovered about 108 billion naira in 6 months.
Cordelia, all this thing that they are recovering, what are they doing with it?
I don't know. My name is Cordelia Obe. I'll see you at 9:30.